Like, okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Testing. Okay. Now we're cooking with fire. We're cooking with fire. Okay. We want to start by giving all praises, all honor to Yahweh and His Son, Yahweh Shah, for the reading and understanding His word today. This is the Shema with Yo Bro Shi'yah. We always want to exhort those who are keeping the commandments and trying to do walk righteously. We're here to help our people to keep the commandments and learn the scriptures that are in this Bible. Today in Bible therapy, we got a wonderful class for you. How you doing, King?
I'm doing all right, King. How you doing today?
This is my brother, Joe Nathan. His name is Jonathan. I calls it Joe Nathan. That's my brother. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing real good. Today, the title of today's class is called Who is My Brother? Who is my brother? This is in Bible therapy. Now, I want y'all to know that this is a class that my brother suggested for me to do. He suggested for us to do together. He wanted to do this class, and he spoke to me briefly about it. I always encourage my brother to try to do classes that stand out to him, that speak to him, and come up with stuff like this, titles that speak to him. With that, I'm gonna let Joe Nathan explain to you this class. Go ahead, brother.
Well, the main reason why that I had this class on my spirit was because that our people Israel is starting to wake up. And one of the main issues that we've always had as a group of people is brotherhood, being with each other, getting along with each other.
Yes.
So the main motivation for this class is for us to be able to understand who is our brother and or sister biblically.
Yes. So who is our brother and or sister biblically? So I guess his point of view was we have to find out who our brother is. Before he goes to that, let's go to a street precept, which is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. And we're going to read who our brothers are. Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
We shouldn't hate our brothers in our heart, but watch this. Read on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Go ahead.
And not suffer sin upon him.
So we should rebuke our neighbor and not suffer sin on him. So when we see our brothers in sin, we should say something. Now, the reason why we went here is because this is a very difficult precept. The Most High demands us to say something if our brothers are in sin so that we don't suffer sin on them. The problem with that is when you have brothers and you guys are close, sometimes some of us don't want to hear our sins or hear what we may be doing wrong. We want to hear everything we're doing right. We love compliments. We love gratitude, but we hate correction. We don't.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge.
We're commanded not to have grudges against our brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
Nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Wait, against who?
Against the children of thy people.
So our neighbors are the children of our people. That's who our neighbors are. Those are the people that we are to look at. You know, the children of thy people. Read on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's our neighbor. The children of our people is our neighbor. Go ahead. I am the Lord. That's the last, wasn't it?
Yes. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
When it says I am the Lord, it means that I have told you this. I have spoken this. This is a commandment from the Most High God. A lot of times, and we've gone over this precept many times, but we can't go over it enough because in the conflict of everyday life, we seem to forget these precepts in going through life. So it's always good for us to remember these precepts. Go ahead, King.
My next precept that I want to go into is to define who is your brother and or sister, or let's just say a family member biblically.
Who is your brother, sister, or family member biblically? Go ahead, King.
Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 35.
So we're going to go to the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 35. Read that, King.
For whosoever shall do the will of God the same is my brother and my sister and mother.
So we're talking about the ones who are doing the will of God. Now, watch this. When we're doing the will of the Most High God, we are to hold ourselves at a higher standard. But as I expressed to you guys before, you innately hold people around you to a higher standard. Even if they're not up to that standard, it is going to become a conflict, because if you're holding yourself up to a certain standard, you're automatically going to hold other people to that standard. Now, I'm not saying to be rude to people, talk bad to people. I'm saying when you notice things going on, you're going to try to hold your brothers or sisters up to a higher standard by nature. Because why? Because you're holding yourself up to a certain standard, right? Get a precept for that. You got a precept for that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47.
So we're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 12, and we're going to go to verse 47. 12 and 47. That's the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47, to get a precept to what we're talking about. I don't want to go too fast, because I know that our people are not as versed as we are in the scripture. So we'll give a couple of seconds for our brothers and sisters to get there. The book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 47. Go ahead.
And that servant which knew his Lord's will.
Which knew what?
Which knew his Lord's will.
We're talking about a servant that knows the will of God, knows what the Most High requires of him. Go ahead.
And prepared not himself.
But even though you know the will of God, and there are some of us who know the will of the Most High God, but we don't do those things that's needful for our salvation. This is what this is talking about. Read.
And prepared not himself, neither did according to his will.
No, neither did what?
Neither did according to his will.
A lot of times in this truth, we like to act like there are people who know the will of the Father, but they still don't do it. We have a no child left behind mentality, right? This is not true. Sometimes people are going to understand the will of the Father. People are going to understand what the Father requires of them, and they're not going to want to do it anyway. Read.
And prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
You're going to get a punishment. You're going to get a worse punishment. You're going to get a worse judgment. And when it says beaten with many stripes, the judgment on you that's going to be levied on you is going to be a harsh judgment. Why? Because you don't want to do the will of the Father, right? Read that again.
And that servant, which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
A lot of times we don't like to think about these things. We don't like to think about chapter 12 and verse 47 because it's not pleasant. What we're here to do today is to show you that everything that's in the Bible is not going to be pleasant. This is not going to be ice cream and cupcakes all the time. When you don't do the will and you know the will of the Father, you're going to get a judgment, right? So we got to make sure that we're doing the will of the Father, right? Your brothers may tell you stuff at times that you don't want to hear, or unpleasant things at times that you may not want to hear at that moment. But I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna tell my family, listen, don't get upset when you are corrected by a brother that wishes you no harm. The way that we identify these things, you look at the situation, right? And you calculate the situation, you analyze the situation. Is this person being mean to me because he or she is just being mean to me? Or are they looking out for my best interests, even though I don't want to hear it? These are the things we have to do if we're going to form and become a nation. If we're going to come together and become a nation, we have to be able to take constructive criticism, y'all. We have to. Go ahead, King.
My next precept, explains exactly that from a biblical sense, like in the sense of if you ever have a fault with a brother,
right,
this is how we're supposed to deal with it. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 15.
So we're going to Matthew 18 and 15. This is to work out your problems with your brother. Matthew 18 and 15. Read that.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
if your brother shall offend you, go ahead.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
So you go to your brother between him and you by yourself, and you tell him your fault. Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that is in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Every word may be established.
So it's telling you that when you have issues with your brother, if y'all disagree on something, bring it in front of multiple people. So, and it's not that you're busting him out. It's not that you're busting her out. What you're doing is you're trying to establish a matter. You and that person may disagree. This is how you build back a nation, y'all. Now, the facets of this may not be pleasant to everybody, but this is how you build a nation. There are going to be disagreements. There are going to be people in our nation that are going to disagree. I want y'all to remember something. We're all coming out of being destroyed. We're all coming out of being destroyed. And so it's up to us, the person who is the accuser or the person who's telling the person their fault, it's up to us to be patient, but it's also up to the person who is receiving the constructive criticism to take it joyfully, or you know what, take it patiently. Because if you can't take it joyfully, everybody can't take criticism joyfully, but you can take it patiently. What's the difference? One of them is saying, you know what, you're not going to let the feelings that you're feeling bother you. So you're going to laugh it off, right? That's taking it joyfully. The other one is saying, I feel some type of way. I'm mad at this person. I don't like that this person said this to me, but I'm going to take it patiently. There's 2 ways of doing of taking something the right way. I can take it joyfully by laughing it off, or I can take it patiently by what? By just being silent, not saying nothing, just letting it sink in, thinking about what was spoken of, those type of things, right? Now watch this. I want you to get that precept, but before you get that precept, I want you to go to the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1. So you in the spirit, boy. Mm-hmm. This, you was going there anyway. Wait, mm-hmm. This brother is in the spirit. Go ahead.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1. Brethren.
Who?
Brethren.
Who?
Brethren.
Brethren, go ahead.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault.
When you catch somebody doing something, or you see somebody not doing something right? If he's overtaken in a fault, read.
Ye which are spiritual.
Ye which are what?
Ye which are spiritual.
When it says ye which are spiritual, that means ye that keep the law. Because that's what spiritual is, those who keep the laws of God. Read.
Ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
Restore him in the spirit of, not in a convicting manner, but restore him in a nice manner. Restore him by talking to him like, hey man, you know you my brother, man. I ain't trying to offend you, brother, but so and so and so and so and so. Restore him in the spirit of meekness. Go ahead.
Restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself.
Because you need to look at yourself, because you were once in his position. You could be just as faulty as him in other situations. He doesn't understand this situation, but on down the road, it may be a situation that you may be thick on or not understanding, and you may need to be restored with the spirit of meekness. Because nobody's perfect. Nobody's saying that they're perfect. We're just saying that when we mess up, we show patience to our brothers that mess up. And when the person who messed up, you need to show patience to the person that's correcting you. Right? Go ahead.
Considering thyself.
Considering who?
Considering thyself.
We got to consider ourselves in these matters. Go ahead.
Lest thou also be tempted.
Lest thou be what?
Lest thou also be tempted.
Read.
Bear ye one another's burdens.
We got to bear each other's burdens. I got to look out for you like I want you to. I got to look out for you like I want you to look out for me. We got to bear each other's burdens, right? These are things that are forgotten in the course of conversation, or when things get heated, or when things get a little dicey. These things are forgotten. We got to remember these things, and we got to remember these principles when dealing with our brothers. Go ahead.
Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Because that's showing it when you come in the spirit of that spirit, that nice spirit, or that spirit, not even nice spirit, just the spirit of patience. You're fulfilling the law of Christ when you come in that spirit. Read on.
For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
Even though I haven't done anything wrong yet, even though I'm not at fault in this matter at this time, I still shouldn't think myself to be something, because at the end of the day, I'm still nothing. Because I'm coming out of sin just like you. I'm coming out of sin just like this other person. We got to learn the facets of relationships. We got to learn how to deal with people, how to take correction, how to give correction, how to be that person. Now, I would tell y'all, look, I'll be the first one to tell y'all, I have worked on myself, on how I come across to people, because I can come across like a butthole. I can come across very harsh. I know this. So I watch my tone. My wife tells me, my wife talks to me all the time about my tone. Now, because I've been dealing with my wife for the last 5 years, she understands my tone. But when I talk to my brothers and stuff, now sometimes I can let it get a little bit, not rough, but they know, people that know me understand me. I'll say it like that. But I do understand that I have a tone. So I'm trying to watch myself, watch how I say, watch how I come across. This is an example of showing brotherly love. Because I know me personally. Now, other brothers may not have that issue. It might be something else that they're dealing with. But this is something that I'm sharing with you guys that I have an issue with, that I'm trying to make sure I fix, because I know that I can come across a certain way. Some of you brothers out there, when y'all talk to y'all brothers and sisters, y'all might come off the same kind of way. So it's not a smear to you. It's not a disrespect to you, but it's something that you may want to watch. Because that's something in me that I try to watch, that I try to reword my wording on how I say things. You know what I'm saying? The point of this is, who is my brother? Those people that are trying to do these things. I'm trying to change certain things about myself so I can be a better brother to my people. That's it. Go ahead, King. Add something to that.
My next precept is exactly that, to add something to that. Let's go to the book of James.
Let's go to the book of James, man. And that's a wonderful, wonderful book to go to, because James actually teaches us how to be, how to receive stuff, how to take stuff. You know what I'm saying? So James is actually a great help in these matters. Go ahead.
This is the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 16.
So we're going to the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 16. I want y'all to remember this, the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 16. Get there. Give them a second to get there. The book of James, chapter 5 and verse 16. And I say that because we quick on the script, but everybody ain't quick like us on the script. Okay. The book of James, go ahead, read book, chapter, verse one more time.
This is the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 16. Confess your faults.
No, what are we supposed to do with our faults?
Confess your faults.
We're supposed to confess when we are at fault. That's why I just confess things that I'm coming short on. I know I could be a butthole sometimes. I know I don't even think I'm a butthole. I just think that my disposition of how I come across sometimes may be a bit harsh. So I try to work on that. I try to look at that, right? Go ahead.
Confess your faults one to another.
One to who?
One to another.
Because if I confess it, maybe people could be more patient with me. If I'm confessing, say, man, look, I know I can come across kind of harsh for certain people. Maybe the people receiving the correction can be patient with me, because I'm admitting that I'm not the best at certain communications. Maybe you could be patient with me, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't see something in you that you need to correct, right? Go ahead.
Confess your faults one to another and pray one for another.
Pray what?
Pray one for another.
When we're dealing with people, I think the number one thing we forget to do, when we're dealing with somebody that we're correcting or trying to correct or that's corrected us, I think we forget to pray for our brothers and sisters. I think that's something that goes lacking. I think we're trying to get the matter out, and we're trying to tell the person what they did wrong. But in the same time, in the same breath, we're not trying to pray for that person that's going through whatever they're going through. And I'm going to challenge y'all. I'm going to challenge my nation. Y'all need to start praying more for the people that you're correcting and that are going through things, right? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't correct them, because you absolutely should. But let's try to pray one for another, because this is scripture. Read that again.
Confess your faults one to another.
Read.
And pray one for another.
We're supposed to pray for one another. Go ahead.
That ye may be healed.
That ye may be what?
That ye may be healed.
When it says ye may be healed, it's talking about you healed from whatever situation that's ailing you, whatever fault that you're caught up in, the thing that you're falling in, that you're coming short in, that you may be healed in that matter. That's what this is talking about. Read on.
And pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
He said the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. What does that mean? The honest, sincere, right? The honest, sincere, straight prayer of a righteous person bringeth much out of it. Because the Most High heareth those that are righteous. He hears us. So that's why it says the affectionate, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So if we're trying to really help each other, we will pray for one another. If we're really looking to look out for our brothers and sisters, we look. I'm in a situation right now where I'm praying for my brothers and sisters. You know, I'm praying because yes, I have conversations with my brothers. I try to help my brothers and sisters. I counsel with my brothers and sisters. But my thing is, I need to pray for them too. Yes, I can tell you where you're wrong. Yes, I can tell you what needs to be done. Yes, these things need to be done. But what we're going to add to this situation is on my own time, I'm going to pray for you. Because that's what the scriptures say. We need to pray one for it. And I hope my brothers and sisters pray for me. Help me to be a better leader. Help me to be strong, you know. Help me to be a stronger leader, you know. But we got to remember that as we go through things with each other, to pray for one another. Go ahead, King.
My next precept is one of your favorites. Going in the charity. Going in the charity.
Oh, yeah.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy.
So this is 1 Corinthians 13 and 2. He says, though I have the gift of, this is us teaching the Bible. This is somebody who knows the scriptures, who understands the scriptures and know how to wield the scriptures and know how to go precept upon precepts. Read that again.
And though I have the gift of prophecy, or understanding scripture, and understand all mysteries.
And understand what?
And understand all mysteries.
And understand the deep things that are in the Bible. That's what understanding all mysteries means. Go ahead.
And all knowledge. And though I have all faith, so that I could move mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
So we're talking about people who have a deep, thorough understanding of the scriptures. If you have all this knowledge, if you have all this wisdom, and you're not having charity, he's telling you you're nothing. Because it's easy to have look, we labor for knowledge. We labor for wisdom. We will labor for the understanding. I'm not going to even sit here and say it's easy to have it, because some people don't even search for knowledge. They go their whole life without even wanting knowledge or seeking knowledge or whatever. So I'm going to say this. Though we labor for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, a lot of people forget the compassion when it comes to be coupled with that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. A lot of people forget to pray for their brothers and sisters. A lot of people forget to have patience with their brothers and sisters. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this. If I don't even say it or mouth it, I wouldn't remember to have all my ducks lined up. So if I know I have to constantly remind myself, I know that my brothers and sisters that are high up in this truth, knowing precepts, they have to also remember to remind themselves, right? That's why we're doing this class. Go ahead.
My next precept is to explain the value of a brother who has charity.
I love that. The value of a brother who has charity. Let's see the benefits of those that have charity in their hearts. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 14.
So we're going to Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 14. The book of Sirach, we'll give you time, chapter 6 and verse 14. The book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 14. Give him a second to get there. Because he's going to explain the value of how important it is for us to have that charity. Because he's right. Brother Joe Nathan, you're very, very correct on that. there is a value with having charity because it's something that we have to have, we have to develop, we got to make sure that we hold it, we got to make sure that we practice it. There's one thing to say that I have charity. There's another thing completely different to practice it. It's another thing to practice it. It's one thing to say I have it. There's another completely different thing to practice it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense.
A faithful friend is a what?
A faithful friend is a strong defense.
Some of you guys that are corrected and just hate correction, y'all got to realize that sometimes when you're corrected and you don't like it, you're really being defended. You're spared. You know what I'm saying? A faithful friend is a strong defense. Why? Because they're looking out for your best interest. That's why a faithful friend is a strong defense. They're trying to help you. They're not trying to hurt you. Even though sometimes the words that are coming out of them may seem harsh or may seem unfair, but they're still, at the end of the day, they're trying to help you. Go ahead.
A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such in one hath found a treasure.
Why did he call it a treasure? It's a treasure to have somebody that doesn't have an ulterior motive. They're not looking out for their own best self-interest concerning you. They genuinely want to help you because they are a true friend. Sometimes a true friend is going to tell you things that you don't want to hear. That's going to happen. There is no friendship that I know of that is a genuine friendship that your friends tell you everything you want to hear. That does not exist. So we have to be able to accept correction, accept constructive criticism, accept when somebody tells you something. I have heard things about myself that I didn't like, and it didn't break my friendship with that person. It made me look at myself and maybe they are right. Even if I thought they were wrong, I still examine the issue. I still look at the issue. I've still done that. That's why I believe that the Father has blessed me and put me in the position I'm in, because now my eyes are open to what? Not only to know precepts, not only to judge matters, but to judge myself righteously. And he happened to put people around me that can hold me accountable of my actions. Right? Go ahead, King.
Nothing doth countervail.
What?
Nothing doth countervail.
Read.
A faithful friend.
A what?
A faithful or charitable friend.
There's nothing better. When he says nothing doth countervail, there's nothing better than an honest friend. There's nothing better than someone who really has your best interest at hand. There's nothing better than that. Go ahead.
And his excellency is invaluable.
His what?
His excellency is invaluable.
Watch this. His friendship is invaluable. The way that he corrects you, what he says, how he does, it is worth more than gold. It's invaluable. And these are the things we have to accept, because sometimes it's very grievous. Sometimes it's bothersome. Sometimes it's annoying. Sometimes you don't want to hear what they say. But at the end of the day, the person that has your best interest at hand, that's telling you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear, is a faithful friend, and their friendship and their excellency is invaluable to you because it can correct you. Go ahead, King.
A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
Wait a minute.
A faithful friend is the medicine of life.
He says a faithful friend is the medicine of life. That helps you. Listen, this helps you through all of your stuff. Sometimes you guys are going in the wrong direction and you don't even know it. Sometimes things are happening in you guys' life and you have no idea that you headed down a train track and the train is coming 100 miles per hour your way and you're about to get knocked off. And a faithful friend is the medicine, and somebody comes to you that cares for you and say, hey man, you don't need to do that. You need to come this way, go this way. Listen to me, do X, Y, and Z. And then you do it against your own better judgment, right? And it helps your life. It helps you become a better person. How many times has that happened in people's lives? And people seem to think that these situations don't exist. And only the people who make it or get through hard situations the first time around, they're the ones who make it out of this stuff. People that are hard-headed, they keep bumping their heads and they find themselves being 50 and 60 years old going through the exact same stuff. So we don't want our brothers and sisters to get to a ripe old age and still be going through the same stuff, because that's what the Most High will do to you. And then you don't even realize you're being punished. You don't listen, you 57 years old and you can't get your bills in order. You're 57 years old, you still getting evicted from your apartments. You still losing jobs and you can't quite get. I know people like this. I know people that's going through this exact thing that I'm telling you about right now. And they're close to 60. And for some reason, life ain't working out, right? What we're trying to do is when you got a friend that's in your corner and you listen to them, that can help you from going to that level or going into that, right? You know, and sometimes it takes pain to get there, right? But my thing is I don't want to go through that and become that old before I learn a lesson. I don't. Some people will do that, though. There are people that I know right now that are in that same boat, and that's not a boat I want to be in. Go ahead, King.
Yes, my next precept is going to go with that. Talking about the faithful friend, because this is a commandment. We are supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves.
That's right.
Let's go to the book of Luke.
To the book of what?
To the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 27.
So we're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 27. Go ahead, King.
You know what? Let me do a 26 just for context.
Just for context, we're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 26.
He said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou?
See, he said, what is written in the law? And how are you reading it? How do you understand this law? Go ahead.
And he answering said, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Wait. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with what?
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
What does that mean? Love him to the best of your ability. Love him to the faithfulness of your heart. Do everything you can to please the Most High, be it big or small. Love him with all your heart, with all your mind, because that's what your heart is, your mind. Go ahead.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
With all thy soul, with everything in you. Go ahead.
And with all thy strength and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
He said, and do your neighbor the same way. If you love the Most High God with all your heart, mind, and soul, with all your strength, because that's what he said. You love your neighbor as yourself. What does that mean? I don't want you to leave me out there. If you see me out there and I'm in a bad way, tell me about myself. If you see me messing up, making mistakes, tell me about myself. Because I'm going to tell you, but it's not a situation to where I just tell you and you tell me nothing. I'm going to tell you because I want you to tell me if I'm in that situation. That's loving your neighbor as yourself, because you're looking out for them as yourself, right? Go ahead.
And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
If you love the Most High God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and all your strength, and if you love your neighbor as yourself, these are the things you do, and do it with all your strength. Do it with everything that's in you, right? And this is not a commandment that you keeping it now, and then you stop keeping it later. This is the commandment that you share with all of your brothers and sisters. This is the commandments that you're gonna continue until the day that you go off of this earth, to the day that you go back into the ground. This is the commandment that you keep. Love your brothers. And in the first 10 commandments, the first 5 commandments talk about your relationship with the Father. The second 5 commandments talk about the relationship with your brothers. So it says on all these commandments, that's how you're supposed to live. All of the Bible, every scripture that you read is going to either be talking about something that's going to have to do with your relationship with the Most High God and how you should keep the commandment with him, or the relationship with your brother and sisters and how you should have a relationship with them. That's the whole totality of the scriptures. Your relationship with God and your relationship with your brothers. Every commandment that you have is going to have that. Even when you keep ceremonial laws, they have a relationship with God by obeying him, by keeping them, but it's going to go into the relationship with your brothers and sisters. Why? Because you're required to gather with them. You're required to keep the commandments, but you're also required to gather with people. Why? So that you can learn how to get along with them. Go ahead, King.
My next precept is to explain when we do those principles, this is how we know that we love God and love our brother. This is an exact precept to what Brother Shi'yah just said. Let's go to the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 2.
We're going to go to the book of 1 John 5, the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2.
By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
See, that's both in one. That's the loving of the Most High. That's the loving of your brother as yourself. You know you love the Most High, and you know you love his children if you keep God's commandments. Go ahead.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So his commandments are not grievous. So his commandments, what? They're not hard to do once you learn how to do it. Right? Once you understand what you're supposed to be doing and you see, once you know the play, it's not hard to execute the mission. Once you know the play, but you got to learn to play first. Right? Go ahead, King.
Let's go up, well, a couple of precepts to 1 John 4 and 20.
Let's go to 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
This is the opposite to that precept. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother.
If you love the Most High, but you hate your brother. And this goes into rejecting, being mean, being arrogant, being stubborn, being prideful. This goes into that as well, because those are examples of hatred. Go ahead.
If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
He is a what?
He is a liar.
So you claim to be in the truth, but you hate your brother or hate the correction he gives you. Go ahead.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
The examples we give to each other is how we treat, the examples we give the Father is how we treat one another. The examples that we give on how, if we understand how to treat our brothers, that is an example of how we know how to treat the Father and how we know how to be obedient to the Father's will. Is how we know that we love the Father. Our obedience to his laws, statutes, and commandments is the only way we show the Most High that we love him. So you can't hate your brother and say that you love God, because hating your brother is breaking the commandments, right? And a lot of us are tested on this thing. And watch this. When you're being tested, you don't even know you're being tested. You have no clue you're being tested, right? Go ahead.
Yes, my next precept gives better context to what type of label you have if you do hate your brother.
Right.
Let's go over to the book of 1 John. Well, stay in 1 John and go over to chapter 3. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3 and verse 15.
1 John 3 and 15. Go ahead.
Whoso hateth his brother is a murderer.
Is a what?
Whoso hateth his brother is a murderer.
If you hate your brother, you are a murderer. Go ahead.
And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
So if you a murderer, you ain't got life in you. You're not gonna get the kingdom being a murderer, because you have hatred for your brother. And a lot of us, I think that's one of the number one things that block us from growing in this truth, is having hatred one for another, having disdain one for another, and we don't even realize it. I don't want to talk to that Negro. I don't want to deal with him. I don't want to deal with her. And these things block our blessings. They block us from advancing in this truth. And some people have stopped and some people have stifled their growth in this truth for many years, because they can't get over certain things about themselves, right? And we have to look at these things, examine ourselves. That's why every week when we have Sabbath class and we do the communion, it tells us to examine ourselves. I think people hear these words as something that is routine. They don't hear it as something that they must hear it and change their lives. And I think the problem with me is that when I read this Bible, it prompts me to change my life. I'm going to hold everybody accountable around me because it's making me change. And it's going to spark change out of me, which I'm going to then in turn spark change out of my brothers and sisters. I'm going to challenge you to get better. Why? Because it's changing me. It's making me better. So the people that are around me, I'm going to push them to be better. We're not going to stay in the same places that we were 2 and 3 years ago. If we are to change and if we are becoming everything that the Father wants us to be, we have to push each other to change. This is just life. Now, some people don't agree with that. I get it. Some people don't care about that. Man, leave me alone, man. I'm doing good. Well, that's just how you feel. But as we progress and advance in life, these are the things that's going to happen, right? Go ahead.
My next precept goes right along with what Brother Shi'yah is saying. Let's go over to the book of Hebrews.
We're going to go to the book of Hebrews.
Chapter 13 and verse 1.
Hebrews 13 and 1. Go ahead.
Let brotherly love continue.
Let what continue?
Let brotherly love continue.
We're supposed to always covet brotherly love, right? But it has a limit, but we got to let our brotherly love continue, right? And that includes correcting each other, talking to each other, making sure everybody's okay. But it's a facet of things, but we let brotherly love continue. It's not just one thing. Go ahead.
Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
So this is just talk. This now in this precept, it's talking about how to show kindness, how to show affection, how to just be learning how to get along with each other, learning how to be a good entertainer to people who or that you're unaware who they are. So you're just talking to people that you don't know this person from Adam. You don't know this is a person you just met, but you're showing kindness and love and affection to the people, even though they may not be in your congregation, in your camp. This is just somebody you just met, right? So we're commanded right here in this precept to show kindness to even the Israelite people that we don't know. Why did they put it here? Because a lot of us are very tribal. A lot of us only talk to those who we're used to talking to or deal with those who we used to dealing with. Oh, if you ain't part of the Shema, then I don't want to talk to you. That's not the attitude that we're trying to grow here. We're trying to grow something different. We're trying to be kind to people that we don't know. Show kindness, affection, show dignity to people that we don't know. And they may never join our congregation, and that's fine. Because some people have entertained angels unawares. So if you entertain an angel unawares, he's not going to join the Shema. He's watching you, right? Go ahead.
Going into verse 3, do me a favor and precept this with Galatians 6 and 1. How it says in the first part of the verse, remember them that are in bonds. That goes with the latter part of Galatians 6 and 1, how it says to think of yourself lest ye be tempted.
Yes.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 3. Remember them that are in bonds, as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity, as being yourselves also in the body.
As being yourselves in what?
As being yourselves also in the body.
So we got to remember people that go through hard times. Remember I had a talk with a brother today, and he lost somebody very close to him, right? And sometimes we just need to be able to be an ear. And I told my brother today, he lost somebody very close to him. I said, brother, if you just want to call me and just let me be I'll just be there as a listening ear. It's not always for us to give precepts or tell a person certain things. Sometimes we just need to be there to listen. Sometimes us being there and being a helpful hand to a person is not always us telling somebody something. Sometimes it's there us just listening and just being a hearing ear or listening ear to somebody who needs to talk or vent about something in their life. That's what that goes into. Go ahead.
This is my last precept. And this basically sums up the lesson. Israel, we are coming back as a nation of people.
That's right.
And this precept should be something that we should always keep in mind, no matter who we are, no matter what congregation we in, and no matter what walk of life that we come from.
That's right.
Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 10.
So we're going to go to Romans chapter 12 and verse 10.
You know what? Verse 9 and 10.
We're going to go to Romans chapter 12 and verse 9. Go ahead.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Let love be, listen, when you love each other, you need to do it in a freeful manner. Don't do it with stipulations. He said, let love be without dissimulation. Don't love according to how you feel about that person. Just show kindness because it's the right thing to do. Go ahead.
Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil.
Hate that which is evil. Go ahead.
Cleave to that which is good.
Cleave, hold on to that which is good. Go ahead.
Be kindly, affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
We're going to be kind. We're going to be affectionate one toward another with brotherly love. Right? Go ahead.
Be kindly, affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another.
That's the kicker here. The biggest thing that we got to get in our heads is how to prefer one another, how to choose our own people over everybody else. That is the biggest thing, or one of the biggest missteps in our people, is not choosing one another. And we always choose everything else over us just being together and growing and learning with each other. We need to grow together. We need to learn each other. We need to understand how to love on each other. These are the things that we have to work on. These are the things that we're trying to correct in our nation. And these are the things that we're going to do. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys got some good precepts. I hope you guys learned what we're trying to, what we tried to do here today. We pray that Israel, that they may be saved. And with that, we say, shalom.
Shalom, y'all.
Shalom,
Y'all be safe and have a good day.
Shalom, sisters. Y'all have a wonderful night and be safe.